Good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here at StockMarketMentor.com on Tuesday, July 9th. And in last night's free video, I talked about Intuitive Surgical, about how, company, let's just say they've got some bad news on the horizon here. Stock was way down after hours, and my suggestion was we watch how this thing trades in the morning, and then if it starts trading up, then you say, okay, well, that's the end of that move, and now we're going to start factoring in earnings, whatever those are going to be. In other words, the market will effectively get all the bad news out of the way now, and then the stock can start running up into earnings. Now, earnings are due to be announced on the 18th. Okay, so let's see if we've got this thing set for an earnings run. What I want to do is first look at the intraday charts here. Okay, here we go. This is what Intuitive Surgical looks like on the daily chart. I can stretch this out, but we've already looked at it. And then what I want to do is I want to be looking when a stock like this gaps down, I want to know whether this is going to be a gap and crap where it just gaps down and then keeps going, or if it's going to be a gap and reverse. So I will actually start, say, with, well, let's just go down here. I'll even initially be looking at a 1-minute chart just to see whether we're going to get a bounce. We really don't here. We don't have a bounce here, so that's not going to work. I want to stay away from this. So I've decided I want to stay away from this. Now I'm back out on the 15-minute chart, and I see this big move down. And by the way, while I'm looking at Intuitive Surgical, am I stalking this thing? Am I like just all over this waiting for the stock to turn? No, there were so many other things moving today. This was kind of like the least of my worries. So I see the stock start to trend lower. I don't want any part of this. Now, at this point, you can do a couple of things. First, you can look and say, okay, well, the stock opened up right here. So I want to set my price alert at where the stock opened up, and we'll say that's 413. Or I have to amend that because it didn't open up there. It opened up here. Let's just not fight it. Here's the 15-minute chart. This is where the stock opened up. If I want to, I can set a price alert here and say, okay, when or if Intuitive Surgical runs clear up above that, then that's when I want to buy the stock. Now, if you wind up doing that, you're going to miss a heck of a trade, a heck of a reversal. So we don't want to do that. Instead, we look at this line right here, the 8-period exponential moving average. I use this a lot. You're going to look at it on a 15-minute time frame. It's going to take a while for this EMA to move back down to catch up with the price. The only way it's going to catch up is if the price essentially flatlines, which it's kind of been doing, and then your buy signal is when the stock starts trading back above this level and then stays there. It's got to stay there for at least another bar. If you use this method, you can catch bottoms without getting burned, particularly those that keep moving lower and then keep moving lower, but then you just know at some point the markets, buyers are going to come in and start taking the stock up. So this is really how you can catch, it could have caught Intuitive Surgical. I think that 8 EMA will work for you. Now the next step would be, if you really want to hop on board here, and I'm not particularly bullish on this, a stock that's been crushed 15% on news that its robotic device kind of hurts people, not really something that I want to be trading. But anyway, you can set a price alert, and when the stock comes up above the opening print, 428, I don't really care so much about the 429.88, which is the intraday high. I don't really care about that. Because if the stock gets above the opening print, it's going to go up to a new high here relative to today. But you can set a price alert for that level, and then add to that position that you took if you took a position on today's intraday reversal. And by the way, if the stock falls below the low of 406.69, you got to sell everything you have because everybody else is. Okay, members, over to the strategy session.